Hey guys, this is Coach Alyssa from Isabella Fitness. Welcome back for another mobility movement and flow. All right, so for today, we're going to do a general just stretching, a general mobility warm up, preparing us to work out or to cool down from a workout. All right, so for today, we're going to start off with our elbow to our knee stretch. So we're gonna come down to the floor. All right, we're gonna bring our leg up and we're gonna bring our elbow to our knee and we're gonna turn and stretch. All right, so this should be a nice one for our back. Feel in the lower back, maybe a little bit upper back. All right, so we're pressing with that elbow into our knee and we're looking back over that opposite shoulder. And I'm gonna turn soon and show you from the other side as well. All right, now we're gonna turn to the other side. And Jasper, thank you for helping. All right, we're gonna turn to the other side. We're gonna bring our elbow this time again to our knee here, and we are going to turn. Looking right over our shoulder in the back here, really feeling a nice stretch. And just staying here for another minute just to really dig into this stretch and really press back. Feel a nice stretch in our back. All right, should have felt a really nice release there. Now we're gonna do something else that's gonna help release our back a little bit as well. All right, so we're going to come to a seated position. We're gonna bring our knees into our chest and we're gonna hold on to them here. To stay in position here. Side to side. Just a minute. Moving back and forth. Be a little bit bigger. Good. We can come back up. Roll up nice and slow. It should feel very nice on our back now. All right, now we're gonna come into another pose that's gonna help out with our upper back, a little bit with our lower back, and as well as our hamstrings. All right, so for this one, I'm going to bring my head down, and Jasper, you can't help on this one, okay? All right, you're going to bring your head down. You're gonna come to your forearms here. All right, and then from here, we're gonna kick up with our feet and bring our head through. So it's like a downward dog, but we're coming down to our forearms, and this is going to be a dolphin pose. All right, so you should still feel a nice calf stretch here, but our head is coming through, pushing through here. Feel a nice stretch in our hamstrings. Our upper back's warming up, working a little bit. And we're on our forearms, so it's a little bit of a different feeling than our regular downward dog stretch. But just like in our downward dog stretch, I highly recommend doing a little walk here in this dolphin pose with our legs, coming in and out of that stretch rather than just staying stagnant. You can come down for a second. All right, and then I'm gonna have us press back up one more time. All right, so do 10 seconds rest here and then come back up into this dolphin pose again. Good, and we can go into a regular child's pose here at the bottom. Bring our head through down if it feels good. And it doesn't matter how much you're seated here or how far out your arms are, or your head comes through. As long as we're feeling a nice stretch here. Good, and roll up. Next thing I'm gonna have us come into is going to be a Superman. All right, so we're gonna get a nice little stretch here on our stomach. So you're gonna come flat, laying flat onto your mat. All right. If you're like me and you have a wall in front of you, come somewhere where you do not have a wall in front of you. All right, we're here. Arms are extended in the front. And then from here, I'm going to do opposite leg, opposite arm. So right arm comes up, opposite leg comes up and comes down. I'm gonna lean from one into the next. Just getting an overall good stretch here. One arm at a time. You can do both at the same time and come down and rest. So switch it up here a little bit with the Superman. Both arms and both legs at one time, or coming back to opposite leg, opposite arm. Trying to keep our arms nice and long, legs nice and long at the same time. All right, we're gonna do this for another 30 seconds. And then we're gonna move on. Keep your head tucked here with the Superman. Keep it nice and relaxed. And come on up, back up to tabletop. All right, once we're up at our tabletop again, we're going to go into our next stretch. All right, I'm gonna have us go into a warrior one stretch. All right, but before we do that, let's actually hit a little seal stretch first while we're down here on the floor. So we'll hit a nice seal stretch here and then go up into our first warrior pose. All right, so for our seal stretch, we're gonna bring ourselves and our body back down again, all the way to the floor, laying flat with our hands by our side. And then from here, we're gonna press up with our hands by our side, all right, right near where our shoulders are. And our chest is gonna come straight up, our arms are gonna elongate, and we're gonna let our hips stay down on this one. We should feel a nice stretch in our core. If our core was feeling any tightness, we should feel a nice stretch in our back. And the more we bring our eyes up, the more intense this will probably feel, the more we're really building that arch in our back. All right, we're gonna come out of it and then come back into it. Right, so we'll come down. I like to come down to like a child's pose in between. We'll stay here for 20 seconds and then go back up into our seal pose. All right, coming back up into our seal pose. We're gonna hold it one more time. We're gonna hold it for 45 seconds here, and then we're going to come up and go into our first warrior pose. If at any time you feel like you need to come out of it and go into a little child's pose and then come back, that's totally fine. With any of our movements or stretches, if we're really feeling an intense one, sometimes it is good to really come completely out of the stretch and then come back into it. Feel it a little bit deeper. Okay, we're gonna go into our warrior one pose. So we're gonna come to standing. And then in order to get into our warrior one pose, our foot in front, all right, is going to stay nice and forward. It's going to be facing forward here in front of us. All right, our back foot is going to be facing this way. So they're on a little bit of a diagonal, a little triangle from each other almost, right? Right, so one is pointed forward, one is pointed to the side here. All right, from here, we're gonna lengthen out a little space between them because we're gonna bend into the knee in front. And then with our hands, our front arm can come forward, palm up, back arm up, palm down. All right, and we're gonna look at our front hand here, really lean into the front here. I'm gonna have us hold this for 30 seconds. All right, and then we're gonna switch into warrior two. All right, for warrior two, we're gonna come back, we're gonna lean into the back here. All right, still staying here, but instead of facing our front hand now, we're going to turn, still turning here, and then leaning this way still again. All right, so we're here, leaning into that warrior two. This time, looking forward. We can come back as well in this one and lean back and pull back here in this stretch here. All right, so we're bringing that hand that's in forward in front of us, and we're gonna bring it up to the sky, and we're gonna lean back and bring that opposite leg down our side of our leg here. And you can come back up in between. All right, and then from here, I'm gonna have us transition to warrior three. So the leg that we had in front before is going to stay there. And then for this one, we're going to really plant this foot strongly. All right, we're slowly gonna bring our hands forward. All right. You really need a little bit of space for this one. We're gonna lean forward. We're gonna keep our knee just slightly bent. Arms are gonna come forward and our leg is gonna come behind us. All right, now if you're feeling a little uncomfortable here, you feel like you really can keep your balance, bring your hands down to the floor here and then bring the leg up. It'll help you with your balance a little bit and still help you get a nice stretch. Or like I said, you can hold the third pose here. And with this one, it's a big focus on balance, feeling a nice big stretch in the leg that's coming back. All right, so let's bring it to our other leg now, the opposite side. All right, so I'm gonna show you guys this way. Bringing that front forward foot. All right, this is the one we're gonna be leaning into. Back foot again is facing this way. Leaning into that forward foot. All right, and this time I'm gonna have us do a warrior one with our arms up, facing this way. All right, you're gonna feel a little bit of a different effect here and here. I've seen warrior one done both ways, here and here. This is gonna give us a little bit of a different stretch, having this turn here. Arms up high, reaching towards the ceiling, or if you're outside, the clouds. All right, and from here we're gonna transition down, all right, into our warrior two pose here. All right, facing this way. Still leaning into this front leg here, feeling a nice stretch. All right, and then we're going to come down. We're gonna bring this hand down our leg, opposite arms coming up, and we're leaning back into this back leg, looking up towards our hand, towards the ceiling. Good, we can come out of that one. We'll come back in one more time. Good. And now we're gonna hit that warrior three pose. So again, we're on this side. All right, now we're gonna be having our weight in our other foot. Again, you can bring your hands down and then stay here. All right, this time our leg might be a little bit more locked out as we're bringing our feet down. You can keep it a little bit bent too. If we're doing warrior pose here where we're balancing, we definitely want to have our front leg bent a little bit. Our knee's going to be here. We're coming forward nice and slow. Arms and leg come up. And if you really want to try this and you feel like your balance isn't great, have a chair nearby just like I do. And you can practice here with your balance, still feel a great stretch here in our hamstrings, back in this leg as well. And then with our arms up, our lats, getting a nice stretch here. Good. All right, those warrior poses were definitely tough today, but we got through them on each side. It'll be definitely something to practice to get better at. Thank you so much for joining me for this warm up, this mobility, this flexibility training, and I'll see you in the next one.